I didn't love my life, as I said. Then myself, I realized that I really love my mom. I was almost lost
Yeah.
by that time. I'm born from a family with four boys.
Mm-hmm.
My dad and my mom got divorced. We were very young. Myself, I think, under 10. I have a degree in journalism.
Wow.
I was also a professional journalist for a couple years in Africa.
Yeah.
The big difficulty of my life and of my family started
Yeah.
by that time. So life became very difficult.
You are listening to AFRODIASPO Media. Every human has a story. As we grow up, sometimes we believe our stories are the best. But wait until you meet somebody else. The brother, the friend that we're bringing tonight has a story to tell. It's so emotional. It's something that comes from his life, his personal experiences. When he spoke to me about this, I couldn't really believe that somebody could go through this, and being able to pull up and get to the point where I met him, it's really something that has to be gracious, like coming from God or from anywhere, like any other place, like beyond our beliefs as human. So tonight, before we move on, I just want to remind you one thing. Please hit the button, subscribe, and to make this show bigger and bigger. So I'm not alone here. My name is Major Mugisho, but I'm not alone. This is AFRODIASPO. I have BK with me.
Join
BK,
with the.
can you talk to the...
We're joined with another special guest, BK. You guys already know. What Major said is true. Go ahead, click the button down below. Subscribe to this channel, man. We have a lot more guests coming. We have a special one today that will fill you guys with, like I was saying, a medicine.
Yeah.
Because
it is a medicine.
Deep emotional talks we need for everybody in this life.
That's
to
true.
cure, whatever we're thinking sometimes, the dark times that we go through. It's a good thing to talk about it. So click the subscribe down below and follow this channel for a lot more guests will be coming out here. I'm BK Major. We're waiting for a guest.
Yeah. Before we introduce our guest, I want to tell you a bit about Paul. Paul is really a great guy. He's very strong, and he's a journalist. He's an artist. He's a musician. This guy is a really talented guy. And tonight, you're going to enjoy all this story that he's going to tell us. I wish he can put this in a book so that people can read from a book, because everybody believes in books.
Yes.
But before, without taking too long, I'm going to...
Just one second. One more thing for the people who's watching. Man, look, this is the first time I'm actually hearing about Paul. So the medicine that he's going to share with us today is the first time I'm hearing it too. So I want to be able... My tissue's going to around the corner in case I start crying. My tissue will be around here.
Because this is really emotional.
Show you guys. It's very emotional, and we need that. So get ready to be blessed with this message from Paul.
Yeah. So, Paul, thank you for coming tonight, brother.
Oh, thank you.
Can you come close to your microphone so we can get to really hear that voice, that beautiful voice?
Thank you so much, Major Mugisho. This is a great opportunity you are giving to me.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah.
Thank you again to Baraka.
Of course.
For being here, for all your questions.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm here to talk about it. Thank you.
We're really happy, and we are blessed to see that you can come here and share this story to us, and let the people know about this, because so many people go through these things, even though they can't talk about it. But I promise you, so many people are going to relate it to this, including myself as I'm talking here.
And myself.
And even Baraka too.
Do not forget Baraka here.
Paul, go in every direction.
Okay.
Just feel free to go in every direction.
The stage is yours.
Before you begin, I just wanted you... I want to make sure everything that you're going to be talking is based on the truth. Because
Sure.
I know you already spoke to me about these things, and
Yeah.
I really believe in you. But if you can promise us that this is really the truth, this
Sure.
is something you are happy to share, and this is something you could even put in a book so that people can read and get lessons from it. Do you
Yeah.
really promise that?
Sure, I promise I will only talk about the truth.
The truth.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, Paul, let's begin.
And the way. Let's
Tell
go,
us,
Paul.
tell us about yourself, brother.
Okay, you have already done that, so
Yeah.
but I can still
Yeah.
do that. My name is Paul Chibui Chilolo, and I am from the Congo. I now live in Canada,
Yeah.
precisely in Vancouver,
Yeah.
and I have a degree in journalism.
Wow.
I was also a professional journalist for a couple years in Africa,
Yeah.
Wow.
and I make also music, gospel music, because I am Christian
Yeah.
since 2013. That is when I gave my life to Jesus.
Wow.
And I am also an expert in communication because that is my domain. Paul is also a. I also preach to young people. I used to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think
There's
I
a
will
lot.
add some more things
There's a lot to that.
while going. Yeah.
But where were you born precisely? Which part of the Congo were you born in? And then are you coming from like a big family? Like how many people in a family? Like things like that. Can you try to?
Oh yeah, I missed that one. I am born from a family with 4 boys.
4 boys. Yeah.
4 boys. Like I'm the second one.
The second one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my mom, she's here in Canada, but my dad, no. I have all my other 3 brothers with me here in Canada. So, and
Beautiful.
yeah, that's
Beautiful.
Good. BK, can you?
Paul, I just want to say thank you once again for being here because
Yep.
what you just mentioned right now is actually, I know I said this a lot, but it's related to me a lot, you know,
Yeah.
because coming here, I did my school here in Canada, but I also went to university studying a journalism course
Yeah.
because I wanted to be a journalist.
Yeah.
And I still have that passion there. I still want to have it.
Yeah.
And I still want to finish school.
Yeah.
But first of all, I just want to say that's a really good job, especially if you've done it back
Yeah.
in Congo.
Yeah.
It gives you an advantage to just have that.
Sure.
It's a beautiful career to have. So thank you for being here, man. We appreciate you for being here with us. That's a beautiful story. We're looking forward.
Yeah.
Wow.
First question of the evening. We have to shoot to Major.
Yeah.
Give us one.
BK, you're a journalist too, right?
I was a journalist, man. We got a lot to deal with speaking, and just the way you talk, the way you speak is very clear. And like you say, you like to spread a message to the young people. It's very important because as a journalist, you have to have that in you, you know. So it's very nice. I used to have a career of a journalist as well. I haven't finished my school yet, but it's something I want to proceed to go on and get it.
Yeah, journalism is
that.
my passion. I love it.
You like, yeah. Did you used to work more on youth community for journalism, or just like more?
No, I was like in general, I started it when I was at university because when I finished high school,
Yeah.
after that I went right away to the university and I took a journalism program. But it was very difficult for me to have money for my school.
Yes, yeah.
Because I didn't have anybody to support me
Yeah, over there. It's hard.
closely, and I had to find something to do. And the only opportunity in front of me was that one. First time I started, I was not getting paid. But as I loved it, I was combining work with
fashion.
we work with school at the same time. So when I was going on, sometimes I can finish school because in Congo, the system is very different.
Yeah.
You can study from 8 to 6 p.m., from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.,
Yeah.
like all the day you are at university.
I remember this.
And sometimes you can be there without having anything to eat.
Yeah, I remember those.
So after
days.
that, you have to go even to the radio station to try to do something for the day.
Yeah.
So I had very long days. I can only have like 5 hours to sleep at home, and next day in the morning I have school. So it was kind of a very busy life because at the same time I did love school because I had big dreams, and also I needed money for that because there were nobody except the Lord and some people to help me. So when you are facing such difficulty, you have to do your best to find a way to get out of it.
That's
Yeah.
very that's a powerful right there.
Yeah, that's really.
Yeah, when you're facing difficult moments, you can't give up.
Yeah.
You have to find any way possible to get out of that situation, man.
And sometimes it's very hard. Sometimes it's very hard.
Wow.
So myself, as I said, I'm born from a family with 4 boys. My dad and my mom got divorced. We were very young. Myself, I think, under 10. And my other younger brother, they were very little. The youngest one was under 5 years old. So
When the divorce
they
came,
divorced. And then my mom, she went away. We didn't know where she were.
Your mom.
My mom.
your
By
mom
that time,
disappeared.
yeah, disappeared. So we did stay with our dad. And the importance of a mom in a family. It's something very important. That
very.
is when the big difficulty of my life and of my family started.
Yeah.
By that time, so life became very difficult.
Paul, I don't want to cut you. I don't want to cut. This is really getting emotional. Most of the time when we hear about divorces in families and separations, usually moms are the one that takes care of the kids. We usually hear the story where we grew up with our mom and but this time we are hearing this for the very first time that I hear that after a divorce, mom disappeared.
Yeah, and this is the first time for me to hear that too.
Were you in contact with your mom when what happened? How did she get to leave a 5-year-old, like under 5 year, your last born? Like
These stuff were, I can say, mysterious.
what happened? Like where did mom go? And
we were very little, very young by that time, and both parents, they couldn't tell us the truth of what's happened, but we just realized that they were divorced. Mom, she was no longer with us, so we were there with our dad, and yourself, and it was in Kinshasa because myself and my brother were born in Bujimai. Bujimai is one of the city of the province is Kasai Oriental. I think Congolese
That's the
people,
central
they
of
know.
Africa, right?
Yeah. It's in the central. So and after a time we moved to Kinshasa because my dad got promoted where he was working. We spent a couple years. Things were very good. After the time he lost his job, after that, divorce came between him and my mom. So the main reason of that divorce, we didn't get
you couldn't.
The truth at that time because we were very little. Maybe they didn't want to talk to us about it because they wanted kind of to protect us. But we just realized that
it's done.
Things happened like that. And that is when life became very difficult.
Wow.
Life became very difficult. It was even difficult to find something to eat. It was it was horrible, because in the Congo, in Kinshasa, people always say, nous vivons tôt du jour. I don't know how to explain it in English.
Let me remind the people one thing. Paul is a French, because the Congo that we're talking about here is not Congo Brazzaville. We're talking about Congo Kinshasa, which is the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and it's a French country. So Paul is bilingual, and you were saying which one? Nous vivons
tôt du jour. Like
also
you go out.
So you depend on the day for in order for you to survive. So whatever you make in the day is that what makes your survival. Yeah. Let's carry on.
And so that is what was happening. Like we were staying home and waiting for when the dad comes back, he can bring something for you to eat. You can stay the all day at home without having anything to eat. And he can come late in the night just with rice. You're gonna eat rice without anything else. So
That's
that
tough
is
life, man.
life became very difficult by that time. So after that, we did move now back to Mbujimai, where we were born, because what we were living in Kinshasa was horrible.
Tough, yeah.
And then we moved back to Bujimai, where we were born. And there too, life was still very difficult. So
Yeah.
I remember myself, I went to live one of the very bad neighborhood of that provinces. We used to call it Chasasa. That neighborhood had a very bad reputation. I had very bad friends there, and also it was the same mode of life. To have something to eat, it was very difficult.
Wow.
You Sometime I remember we were like having some eating things without putting ingredient in them. We just go out, we grab some woods and we bring them. Oh, this stuff.
Wait a
This
bit, Paul.
brings too much.
Wait a bit, Paul. PK,
Yeah.
do you have something to add there?
I-
Because I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm boiling. My heart is boiling right now. Yes.
I don't know if I should boil, if I should cry right
Yeah.
now, but it sounds very crazy. And I can just feel for your younger siblings. I wanted to ask you, do you know when your mom left? The day, did she tell you guys anything? Or did she just have to leave without saying anything?
We just noticed that.
You just noticed she's not in the house.
She's not in the house anymore.
Yeah.
So
And where was your father when
he was not home at all.
no.
Oh, that day that she left,
Yeah.
Dad was not at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I want to also ask you, because there's so many things you've brought up there, and I don't think people really understand the difficulty of, having to have younger siblings and there's no mom, dad's not around.
Under 5 years old.
Under
man.
5 years old. And how old were you? You say you were under 10? You were 10 years old around that time?
I was under, but I don't, I have to calculate.
Yeah,
yeah, you
these
can't even
things.
remember.
Yeah,
like,
but
it's
like that's
That's
crazy.
what I know. What's
That's-
the truth is that I was under 10 years old.
Yeah.
And the youngest one was under 5. My youngest brother was under
Yeah.
5.
What was going in your mind during that time? How do you think?
Man, myself, I realized that I really loved my mom.
Yes,
I
obviously.
really,
Yes,
I really
of course.
loved her. I love my both parents.
Yeah.
But I noticed that I really loved her because I missed her, and it was very hard for me myself emotionally. Even in school, I was affected. I was I was no longer smart at school, man.
That's what I was saying. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying.
That
You
affected my marks at school. It was a bad experience for me. And when we moved to Bujimai, then lifestyle was the same as in Kinshasa. Difficulty to have something to eat.
Yeah.
You don't have anybody who take care of you. You have yourself to think. You are a young man. You don't have any job, but you have to look after yourself in a very poor country. Sometimes you get tempted to start doing bad things like
Of
steal
course.
things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. You have
with
nowhere to
that
go
kind
from
of neighborhood, I told you that neighborhood had a very bad reputation. I had so very bad friends, and they started influencing me
Yeah.
in very
Yeah.
bad practices.
Yeah.
So I was almost lost
Yeah.
by that time. I had difficulty, and I
Yeah.
wanted to make myself stronger. And
But you were young too, and
yeah,
together would be tough.
that
to go through
was very, very hard. I started having a very bad life. I started very young, dating women, this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Just
So-
to gain like confidence.
Confidence,
In, yeah, in
and
the community.
And after a while, I now I just had a desire to go to a church one day. I just felt that because even when I was staying and living with all these friends, you know, I was just feeling something different in me. Like, this is not what I'm supposed to do.
It's like a message.
Yeah,
in your
I don't
head.
know. I can say
happens.
I was not Christian, but I can say that was God talking
Speaking
to
to
me
you.
or protecting me.
Yeah.
I was feeling my life was not good at all.
Yeah.
I was feeling like this is not what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You know, we used to gather every night with all the friends I had
Yeah.
in that neighborhood, and everybody was coming, telling you how was his day, the highlights, and everybody was talking the highlights for that people. Those people were only sex with women and all these bad things, you know. And when you are not able to do what they were doing, they start laughing at you.
Laughing, yeah,
They
yeah.
were laughing at me. Ah, Paul, you get
You're weird.
us. Today I did this. You are not doing. You are not doing. You know. And
Yeah.
myself, for sure, I love these people. But myself, I was feeling that this is not what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And one day I felt like I have to go to a church. I don't know why, but then I decided I went. One day I went and I remember the church name. I think it's Centre Evangelique Hebron. And the preacher, his name was Pastor Kovenchman. He was now preaching. He was
Was that
was
when you came back to from Kinshasa? You went when you were
sure.
back? Yeah.
That's when I started having all this bad life because the
Okay.
difficulty started in Kinshasa.
Yeah.
That was social. You know, I was very little.
Yeah.
When I went
went
now
back.
to Mbujimai,
Yeah.
then I started living in that like bad neighborhood.
Yeah.
And with all these bad friends,
Yeah.
my social difficulty were still there.
Yeah.
And I also added this very bad life, you know. Can you imagine how horrible became my life? You know,
Paul.
I didn't even love my life myself. I was even, you know, one day I remember I was
I would not
asking,
love my life.
I was asking God, so why am I facing all these things? You go to school, you see all your friends at school, they have their parents, they come, they take them from school. Sometimes they come with car, you know. And myself, everything was totally different.
Yeah. I
And
can imagine.
I was asking, what did I do to face all these things? And sometimes I was crying in the night. I didn't love my life, as I said.
Paul, before
That's
you
crazy.
continue,
Yeah.
take us very slow into this
Yeah.
so we can get to really
Okay.
understand, you know. I know you are taking us very fast, but
Yeah.
we want to bring you back.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine growing up without a mother.
Yep.
You know, there are so many people who are going through these things right now, and they can relate to this story. You know, especially in a country that like Congo, where there's war everywhere. Imagine there's war now, adding divorce on it on top of the war. Because usually people who come from Congo, they have a story with war, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, yours is not just war; it's now related to the family, like a broken
War and
family
divorce.
too, right? So, which is really horrible. Now, when mom left home, did she ever call did you ever spoke to her like on the phone, like saying like this is our mom's calling? Or did you have any family related to your mom, not on your side, that side?
We lost contact with our mom for more than 10 years.
More than 10 years. So during the whole time that you were in Kinshasa, you never.
So we lost contact. And
Wow. And how did that take care of you?
That's
I
tough.
can imagine how a man would take care of kids. It's not easy.
yeah. You know, this story I'm talking is more emotional.
Yeah.
I think you don't want to see me crying.
No,
here.
we don't want you to. We don't want
Yeah.
you to.
You know, it was difficult measure. It was very difficult,
Yeah.
you know.
Can you come a bit closer to the mic again? Sorry. Yeah.
I'm just saying that it was very difficult, you know, measure. It was super difficult without our mom
Yeah.
because we loved her so much and she also loved us so much. And men are not like women.
Yeah.
Women, they have a different heart.
That's
Yeah,
the
they have a
truth. Yeah.
special way of
It's,
taking care of
they
the
they,
care of
they
kids.
the
know
kids,
how
right?
to take care of
Of kids, yeah.
kids.
Yeah. And
I
that will
think-
always be like that.
I,
no
I don't
matter
I
how
don't
hard you
wanna
try.
I don't wanna blame anybody.
Yeah.
I
No, you're
don't
not,
really
you're not.
wanna go deeply to
Yeah.
what's happened with the dad after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But what I realized, what I noticed is like without a mom in a family, it's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's difficult.
Wow.
It's difficult. Education, it's difficult. Social life, it's difficult. You know, everything. Like I think I can say the foundation of a family.
Yeah. Was already
Mom.
broken, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the foundation of a family is a mom. So
Wow.
I know that the like they say, the love of the mother is the strongest love
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Nothing can be compared to that. But I wanted to ask you, Paul, real quick. Did you ever have any moment where you sit down and talk to your dad about
So
What
what's happened is also we didn't stay longer
With
together.
with your dad?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can
So
imagine things couldn't go well with
that's-
that. If already dad will go to work in the morning,
Yeah, because
to come back at night,
everything.
find the children and they were just scattered apart, then bring rice at night. That's really difficult, you know.
Yeah, because
If
then
you
you
can
have
just
no
put
question
yourself
to
at Paul's place, this is really a difficult time. You can all survive with that. But Paul, when you move to Mbujimai,
Yeah.
because to those who don't know, Mbujimai is just like it's a province in Congo, but it's not compared to Kinshasa. You know, Kinshasa is like the biggest
It's
town,
like-
right?
Like
It's the capital.
Vancouver,
Capital
so-
city, yeah.
and
It's like the capital
like
city. And then
Ottawa. I can say like Ottawa. So
now for the Congolese culture, when they take you from Kinshasa to Mbujimai, it's like they take you back, right?
yeah.
And that can also
back.
play a big role into your mind as
So
a child, right?
I remember the first day
Yeah,
I arrived in Bujimai.
yeah.
I was saying this is a village.
That's the thing.
Emotionally, I was affected.
Yeah,
In myself, I was not happy. You know, I lost happiness
yeah.
from the day I was separated with my mom. So
Yeah. and then-
everything that's happened after that,
wow.
I didn't love it. You know,
Yeah.
I remember that day I didn't eat. I didn't eat when we arrived there, and everything which came after was I was just doing it because I had to do it, but I didn't really love it. So
Oh my God.
it's very different than Kinshasa. Kinshasa, it's the capital. Like life is totally different, and there it's yeah,
Life is kind of slow in
sure.
in,
It's
a-
like life.
in Bujimai compared to Kinshasa, right?
Sure, like life is it's got even water. You have to pay. You have like to walk like for more than 2 hours to get just water to drink
oh
in
my God.
Bujimai.
Wow.
Yeah. Paul, I wanted to ask you a
People
question.
they don't have access to like pure water. It's difficult there. Like electricity,
good
they
water.
don't have it.
Wow.
You know that
Yeah.
side. It's difficult. I don't think any Canadian can can leave that place.
No.
It's very
You know, Paul, the divorce topic is a huge topic, and a lot of people go through that.
yeah.
And we understand that sometimes it's not your control. You know what happens in divorce,
Yeah.
and you just appear to be there,
Yep.
and now you have to figure out a way to adapt to it, figure out a way to get other family members involved. How can we stay together and how things happen? I want you to tell us a little bit of what you've learned throughout all these years. I want you to, because the people who are going through this the same way, who are lost, they don't know how to pick up from where the divorce started. I know you fought a lot to get through that, you know, and the good thing you found Jesus when you started going to church. I want you to give them an advice of what you think they should always keep in their mind, they should always follow, to keep them in one circle and to keep them in one lane to not get out of hand? What is your advice to those people?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I wanted first see if you can allow me to finish
Of course.
especially what I was saying about the day I decided to go to church.
Yes, of course.
So when I went
Yeah.
there were a pastor preaching. His name is Koben Chibanda. He's like, I consider him as my spiritual father. And he was talking to me. I was not even inside, in Africa, in Congo especially, churches are like sometimes you can have just a, a place, an open place, and the back is totally open. So I was like almost outside and I was hearing what he was saying. He was like talking to myself. He was saying, God, I, I can remember he was saying, God want to change your life. God, he
Yeah.
was saying things very important that touched my heart.
Yeah.
And from that day, when I went back home, I started changing my life personally because of all the difficulty I had in life. I
Yeah.
started stealing. I was stealing money from people.
Wow.
I was living a very bad life. I was in the woman's life. I was lying at any time. I had a very bad life. So from that day, my life started changing. I remember I was dating a as young people, we always want to
Have
date.
friends. Yeah.
I was dating a young lady, and when I met Jesus, when I decided to give him my life from that day, I started myself to separate myself to that person.
Yeah.
And I was not even making effort to do that because I can affirm that the Holy Spirit touched my heart from that day. And when I changed life, became a Christian, I gave my life because after that day I got baptized and then I started following Jesus. I started now going to church regularly and also I started singing in the church. Socially, my life didn't change right away.
Okay.
But what changed was my mood, my
Yeah.
behavior,
Yeah. Too.
how I speak to people.
Yeah.
I was stealing. I was not doing that anymore. I was lying at any time. I was not doing that anymore. That started changing. And that also affected even my marks at school. From the time I gave my life to Jesus, I started having very good marks at school. That's what I noticed. The second thing, I became very disciplined in life from that day. From that day, I became very focused in life from that day. And also I was able, because when in a broken family, there is always rejection. Rejection. You understand what I mean? Like when you are rejected, that's hurt, you understand? And it's sometimes difficult to forgive people.
Yeah.
But from the day I met Jesus, I was able to forgive people. Everybody who did bad things to me, who like mistreated me because I faced this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
You can go to people's house, they don't consider you, they are unable to eat with you in the same table, they don't take you with value, you understand? And this kind of people, it was difficult for me to forgive them. That changed from that time. But socially, things didn't change right away.
It will
That
take
is,
time.
yeah,
It
it
will
take
take
time.
time.
That is when I started, when I was at the same time going to the university and having money to pay my school was very difficult. But as I already started building a relationship with God, I could sometime pray. When I find myself unable to do that, I could myself, as even I was working doing some journalist job, but I was not getting that much money. But I can pray and God can touch someone's heart, and you can just see someone calling you, I'm gonna pay for you. He pays for me.
Wow.
You can, things changed differently for me. And I also learned, that is what I want to answer your question about what I really learned.
Yeah.
What I really learned is that first, the foundation of a family is a mother. It's really
That is very
important.
true.
Parents, they have to avoid divorce. You know, my life is like this right now because God's grace was upon me and upon my brother, and that if without God's grace, I could have been lost. Even in that neighborhood I was living in Bushma, I remember people were dying at any time because they had very bad lives. Sometimes they get killed, sometimes they get sick, and God took me out of that kind of situation. That is God's grace. That's what I'm saying, that the foundation of a family is a mother. Parents, they have to avoid divorce. And young people, they have to think a lot before getting married. Because it's very important. You can
Deep.
even broken more relationship, but not a marriage. When there is already child in that relationship, you have to think about their future. That is the first thing.
100%.
Yeah. That's the first thing about family. And the other thing is, being rejected, it's hurt, you understand? But sometimes it makes you stronger.
Wow. That's amazing.
When you are rejected, it's people, they don't value you, they don't consider you, but that makes you stronger.
That's true.
That makes you responsible. I became responsible. I was very young, because there is nobody to help you. You have yourself to find how to help yourself. And now you became very responsible because, you can be in a very good family. You have parents, they take care of you. They give you everything you want, everything you need. And sometimes I don't say that is bad, no, but sometimes you can not come stronger quickly because you have people, they support you. The day you are not there, you are unable to confront all these hard situations by yourself. But when you're rejected, you became stronger. You know that I did face this stuff last years. I did face this time in the previous year. I am able. I know. I think I can make
Go
it.
through it. Yeah.
That is what I learned. Rejection hurts, but it makes you stronger.
Wow.
You can face any difficulty. And another thing is also the very important things in life is having Jesus. My life really changed the day I gave my life to Jesus.
Yeah.
That is when my life really changed. If I didn't meet Jesus, my life could not have been like it is. I could have been died. I think so. But since I met him, I became a different person.
That's
That's
really amazing.
Yeah, I became a different person. I know my heart. Humanly, I'm unable to forgive people when they hurt me. But with the power of the Holy Spirit, I became able to do that.
Wow.
The other thing, sometimes you can be skilled but when you are not disciplined, there are
it's like
things you
nothing.
won't be able to do.
Yep.
Yeah, but with God's help, I became very disciplined. There are things I don't do, not because I can, but when I see it, what Jesus did at the cross, I say, this is gonna be like an insult to him because he died for me on the cross. If I start doing this kind of life, it's gonna be bad for me. Meeting Jesus changing my life. I became a very different. You can ask even my friend from university. I was living a totally, my life was different. Socially, I didn't have enough money to pay. I didn't have money to eat, but I was a disciplined guy. every day they come to chase people who are not like in order for what,
With
because
the
university,
payments,
yeah, for payments. I was among those people almost every day. But I can tell you that I did all my 5 years, university. I didn't repeat any class. Do you understand what I mean? That was by God's grace. And He gave me that strength to go till the end. Because when they come and chase you, you feel yourself humiliate. And sometimes people, they can say, oh, they are chasing me every day. I'm not considered. People are laughing at me. I'm gonna let it go. But the Lord gave me that strength to keep going till the end. Even people were rich, they had money, but they didn't make it as I did. That is God's grace.
Paul, wait a minute. Wait a bit. You have a degree in journalism, right?
Sure.
Where did you get this from? From Bujimai or Kinshasa?
It's Bujimai.
You got it in Bujimai?
Yeah.
Okay. And then as we moving forward,
Yep.
how did you come to meet your mother? Because I know you're living with your mother right now, right?
Yeah.
Because we couldn't just come from your dad.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I wanted
to you living with your mom now, and
take me there
I
slowly.
love my mom and all these things. But how did you come to meet your mom again?
Okay.
What did she do that made you to really feel like now I love my mom?
No, I didn't do anything special. God did everything. That God did all the job. What's happened is this. After I think I was about to finish my school at university. This age we are using social media right now, and you can find anybody on Facebook and something like that.
Yeah.
What's
Can you
happened
come
is,
close to the mic again?
yeah, what's happened is my mom, she was all the time we lost contact. She was outside the country. She was in Kenya, and then she came in Canada.
Oh, so the time she left Kinshasa,
Yeah.
she went through all these places to
Yeah.
Kenya, and then she ended up to come to Canada.
To Canada.
Wow.
So what's happened? Then she did some research on social media, and then she were able to find
The children.
my name. I think someone helped her. That's what I heard. Someone helped her because she was not used to all these
The
social media.
Yeah.
And then one day, I remember I saw a message from somebody like on Facebook,
Yeah.
and it was her. I was surprised.
Wow.
That's
Man.
when we got back in contact. And
Wow.
By then, who were you living with?
I was not living with anybody. I was living myself with friends by that time.
Oh, so you were in Bujimai just with yourself, like with your friends?
Yeah, I was living
my
with my
God.
friends.
What about your younger brothers?
Yeah, they were also living with one of our relatives.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was, my family was a totally broken family.
Yeah.
It's a totally broken family.
Hmm.
There were not hope for us to come back again, but what the Lord did is amazing. So I remember the day when I got the message, I was, am I dreaming?
And that's when you're here in Canada. That's correct.
In Kenya, I was still in Bushima. That is where my mom
but she was in
contacted me.
Canada. That's
She was
when.
in Canada.
Wow.
Then she contacted me. I was, am I dreaming? So I didn't have a smartphone. So I remember one of our friends from church, he had a smartphone. So I told him. So among the messages, they told me to find something like a smartphone. So they wanted to talk to me like WhatsApp, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Then I didn't have, having a smartphone in the Congo.
Yeah.
At that time, it's only rich people could afford
Can
that.
I ask you how?
Yeah.
What age were you when she found you? How
When
old
she
were
found
you?
me?
Yeah. How old were you when
It's
she reached you?
I think 5 years ago.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it was very-
Wow.
5 years,
That's
5
after
years
so many
ago.
years.
that's after like a long time.
Long time.
Thankfully for the social medias at least.
Yeah.
Wow.
5 years ago. So then I did ask to that friend from church for his WhatsApp number. So I did send her. Then they did call us. They called
By the grace of God.
through that through that guy. So then we start talking. You say, uh, then she didn't explain to us so many things what's happened, but
Just thanking
that
God.
was like the best day
Of course.
of my life.
Yeah, of course.
And then she
Man.
said that I am doing my best. If I can have you guys with me, that would be so helpful. And God touched some people's hearts. They sponsored us. And then here we are in Canada. We are back here. I was able to see my mom again after, I think it's 13 or 14 years.
Wow. Shout out to the sponsors. Whoever
That's
sponsored
big.
your family, really, they
Terry
really
and
did a good
Sandy.
job. Yeah.
That's
They really are.
the story of the
Terry
book
and
right there.
Sandy,
That's like a
I
story
am
of
going to thank them. We are so thankful for what they did for us.
Wow.
And that is what's happened, And after a while, I was able to, when they started all the process, I was able to have a smartphone then. We could talk, we could discuss, but things were also difficult because we were also afraid, because back in Congo with all this war and stuff, people are not safe, people are
never
unsafe.
safe, man.
Myself, I remember I sometime I was about to be killed,
Wow.
and but God protected me, and being able to gather again as a family, being able to see my mom, being able to enjoy this life and to do what I can be able to do right now, it's amazing.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's God's grace. And now you can see people calling you, even people who were unable to talk to you, who are not considering you.
Talking to you.
You
That's the crazy thing about it, man. When you're going in that
All these
situation, they
things.
start coming back, right?
Only the Lord can do such thing.
That's true. Hey, Paul, we're going to have Jeremiah here, BK, if I can tell you. Jeremiah is Paul's young brother.
Oh, okay.
I think by next week, Monday, we might have him here. And he's going to come.
This is like part 2 of the episode. This
That's
is
going to
good.
be a part 2, which is going to be crazy.
Wow.
And as I told the people that Paul speaks French, and Canada is bilingual,
Sure.
It's it's really a good opportunity to know how to speak French in this country.
For sure.
It helps a lot. Not only in in terms of jobs, but also socially, it just helps a lot.
Sure.
Being able to speak 2 languages in Canada it's a big advantage. So can you resume just a bit of what you're saying? Just can you put it in French, speak about yourself in French,
Spice
and
up a little bit for
just a
everybody.
bit. Don't take too long because we're
Okay.
getting to the end of everything.
Okay.
But just a bit how you came to Canada, and then we're gonna ask you maybe 2 questions and
Ouais, je m'appelle Paul TSHIBUYI. Je suis journaliste professionnel de carrière. Je suis aussi artiste gospel, originaire de la République démocratique du Congo, actuellement vivant au Canada, ici à Vancouver. Et j'ai une histoire un peu très délicate. Je suis né d'une famille de 4. Mon père et ma maman sont séparés. On était encore trop jeunes et cela a créé des difficultés énormes dans ma famille. Alors, je me rappelle que cela s'est passé. Nous étions à Kin. On est rentré en Mbujimaï. Après avoir été en Mbujimaï, la vie était devenue un peu très difficile. Moi, je me rappelle, j'ai vécu dans un des quartiers très mal réputés de mon pays. Et j'avais vraiment entamé une vie très, très, très mauvaise. Une vie dans laquelle j'étais dans les filles, j'étais dans les vols, j'étais dans les mensonges. Donc, j'étais devenu vraiment un païen avec P au majuscule. Mais un jour, j'ai eu c'est vraiment désir-là de me rendre à l'église. Et je ne sais pas d'où m'était venue cette conviction-là. Je peux affirmer aujourd'hui que c'était du Saint-Esprit. Et en allant, j'ai retrouvé, c'était au centre évangélique Hébron, c'est que dirige le pasteur Cobain, c'est lui qui était en train de prêcher. Vraiment, il les tentes, j'étais derrière, je me rappelle, parce que l'église, c'était vraiment un hangar et la partie de derrière était ouverte. Et il parlait comme s'il parlait à moi directement. À partir de ce moment-là, j'ai été touché. Ma vie a complètement changé. À partir de ce moment-là, j'ai pris mon baptême, je suis devenu enfant de Dieu et cela a coïncidé avec mes études universitaires. Et par la grâce de Dieu, j'ai quitté même le quartier où j'habitais. J'ai commencé à habiter avec un frère, parent que je salue d'ailleurs. Et ma vie a vraiment changé. La vie des vols, la vie des filles, la vie des mensonges, tout ça, je l'ai arrêté. Et même, bien que socialement, même pour payer l'université, les choses étaient difficiles, mais j'étais quand même à mesure. Lorsque ça manquait, je peux parler à Dieu et Dieu toucher le cœur d'une personne qui peut le faire pour moi. Et c'est un peu comme ça que j'ai vécu pendant un moment jusqu'à ce que j'ai fini mes études universitaires après 5 ans avec toutes ces difficultés financières. On m'est chassé presque chaque fois qu'on devait les faire, mais par la grâce de Dieu, je n'ai repris aucune année universitaire. Et aussi, j'ai eu quand même aussi à entamer une carrière en journalisme qui m'a permis d'acquérir une certaine expérience. Après un moment, euh, le contact qu'on avait perdu avec notre maman est revenu et elle m'avait, je crois, ils nous ont retrouvés d'une manière un peu très mystérieuse par la grâce de Dieu. On a repris contact jusqu'à ce que par la grâce de Dieu, Dieu a touché les cœurs des guerriers Sandé qui nous ont sponsorisés comme nous sommes venus ici au Canada. Je suis en mesure aujourd'hui de revoir ma maman que j'aime beaucoup après à peu près 14 à 13 ans de séparation. Et la famille qui était très déchirée est quand même redevenue ensemble. Moi, avec mes 4 frères, on a quand même su vivre encore ensemble. C'est vraiment quelque chose qui est arrivé par la grâce de Dieu. Aujourd'hui, je suis même en train d'évoluer dans ma musique
Oui.
avec un projet qui sort, avec des concerts qui viennent. Donc,
Oui.
c'est vraiment la grâce de Dieu, ce que j'ai vécu, mes jours,
En tout cas.
je suis très reconnaissant.
Vraiment, merci beaucoup, Paul. En tout cas, nous sommes ravis de vous recevoir
Merci.
sur ce plateau.
Yeah.
We're going to go back to English to wrap up.
Yeah.
All I can say, Paul, we love you. You know,
thank you so much.
we know that it's not easy. You know, nobody was born to go live into another country. You know,
Sure.
we are free to travel wherever we want to travel, but it shouldn't be because we are forced to, right? It should be because we choose to go there for some other, because everybody, you know, some other people have the opportunity to travel.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't travel just because you don't know where to go. And I really like that in the end, at least you were able, you know, to make yourself a man among men. Yeah. And every time I do see you, I see really like what means the greatness.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really a really good thing. So my last question would be are you still in contact with your dad? Is he still alive? Or you also decided to lose now contact with him because, you know, or do you speak to him sometimes and, you know?
What I know is that I love him.
Yeah.
He's my dad. And I love him, but I don't just want to talk too much about that.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
Respectfully.
That's really good. Yeah. But your mom is here and she's doing well, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. BK, do you have anything to?
Well, I think the most common thing is the message you share with us today. You know, Paul is amazing. And I just want to say to God for bringing you and your family together. Yeah. And the message about today's story that everybody have listened today about you is stay close to God, because there's nothing that's impossible that God can do. Yeah. You know, after 14 years of being away from your mom, you know, surviving this absolutely crazy life as a young kid, you know, being lost and then finding Jesus and to help you out. It's a good message to everybody who's watching. Whenever you go through a hard time in life, just continue to pray to God, and you will not be disappointed. And Paul is a very good example for that. So thank you so much for sharing that with me. I did not know that part of yourself. I know.
But I think we won't finish without talking about all these events coming up.
No,
man.
Yeah. No, we're gonna shout you out, man. We're gonna give you a spotlight.
you get that space.
That's paid. So I just want to say to wrap up everything. Thank you so much for being here and sharing that story
Thank
with
you.
us. I can understand how heavy and emotional it can be.
Yeah.
So just the courage that you had to bring it out here. So thank you. And it's time to give him a spotlight. We gotta share. We gotta show up.
Yeah. So this is almost the end of everything.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, before we finish, we're gonna give Paul an opportunity to talk about his music, because he said he's a musician, and I know him as a very good singer and artist. He has songs that is already released and everything, and you have events, right?
Sure, like
Can you,
there is
just wrap up,
a
man.
big concert coming up on April 1st. It's gonna be at New Life Christian Reformed Church. So I think
Where is
it's
that in?
in Abbotsford.
Abbotsford,
Oh yeah,
okay.
Abbotsford in
Abbotsford,
Canada. Yeah,
BC,
so
right? Yeah.
people are invited to come, and also you made sure you are invited.
Of course, I will be there.
Baraka is invited.
I'll be there.
Oh,
Please
okay.
come, guys, and also follow me on all my pages. I have a YouTube channel, Paul TSHIBUYI Official, and also my pages like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, Paul TSHIBUYI. And I already released one song video. The title is Ngolu. Ngolu means grace.
Yeah.
Talking about
Wow.
God's grace. This story is a very deep story.
Yeah.
And coming from that life to this one, it's only God's grace.
Amen.
That is why I wrote this song called Ngolu. Ngolu is in Lingala. That
Yeah.
means grace.
The song is
God's
in Lingala.
grace.
The song
The
is
song is in
nice.
Lingala, but we have English and French lyrics.
Yes.
So anybody can
You
understand.
won't feel left out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
That's it. So people, please come. Like it's gonna be at 6:30. That's when the concert will start. I think we'll have great people out there. It's gonna be the great moment. Please don't miss that. Don't miss that. And I think the Lord will bless us a lot with that big concert. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I think we're getting at the end. Again, I'll remind you, this is Major Mugisho. I was here with Baraka. Yeah.
We back.
And we were with Paul, who was talking to us about his story, which is an amazing story. Next week, by God's grace, we're going to have Jeremiah. Jeremiah is also a young man that I met. He's Paul's young brother. He's really courageous. He's a very strong guy, and he's going to talk to us about his version, because you can already, you understood that Paul lived his own life in his own neighborhood and his own family that he created.
Yeah.
Jeremiah has his own version of this thing.
Okay.
Because I spoke to Jeremiah already, and he told me something completely different from what Paul is going to tell us, which it's the same story, but everybody lived it in his own way, in their own way. So that's going to be very good. Thank you so much. This is AFRODIASPO, and don't forget to subscribe. Share this video so that it can touch so many people, because there's a lot of people who can be related to this. Just this story can change people's life. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Thank you.